Hey, welcome to session 4. These are my friends.
Hello, I am friend.
Hey.
I am the big friend.
What?
Who is the biggest friend here?
It's
Truly
me.
is a mystery.
It's me, the biggest friend.
Well, I'm a size 34 waist. What are you, Sean?
69. Okay, let's go.
Nice.
Okay. So we got a couple of things to do before we start, as usual. One is the prologue. Who wants to do the prologue? I think Tyler did the prologue last game.
Alrighty. Okay, so last time we were in the 10th city to start off. We tried doing some work. They tailed a guy there. We tried doing some work for a guy, but it turns out we're not very good at being muscly, so we got beat up and had to retreat. But in the process, we found a crow that had stolen Cruzier's voice, and we managed to, retrieve it. And then, we made our way back to the ruins of Crowthorn and investigated some more. We investigated the burnt-out homes pretty thoroughly, but we didn't find anything interesting there. So we investigated the desecrated shrine, and we found a secret passage underneath. And so now we're going to go explore the secret passage.
Wait, just to jog my memory, was it already called the Desecrated Shrine, or did we desecrate it by investigating?
It was already desecrated.
Okay, so we double desecrated.
I don't think we desecrated it in any significant way.
Yeah, the statue of the person that the shrine was dedicated to is broken, and there was graffiti written over the inscriptions and such. And yeah, looks like someone tried to hit it with various blunt objects. So you guys opened the shrine by carefully touching the random things on the shrine, and one of the shields depressed and turned a little, and it opened up the back, which had a ladder leading down. You guys went underneath, lit your lantern, and saw that the ground was kind of like a safe room with various passages leading out. But before we went to investigate further. That's where we called it. So, beliefs, instincts, goals. Elflin, do you want to kick us off?
Sure. So my belief is the forest is in ruins, and it's everyone's responsibility. My goal is to find the bow in the ruins of Crowthorn. And my instinct, I'm going to change up for this session. I'm going to say when in a dungeon, be on the lookout for traps.
Okay. I actually read a blog post. I think it was from the Mordenheim Press, or no, it was I bought the book The Grind, so the zine for Torchbearer is a third party post, and I read it. I read some of it about developing great beliefs, and so you want to find the bow, but why do you want to find the bow?
That's my goal, not my belief.
Yeah, no, I mean, good goals. So why do you want to find the bow?
To reopen my home.
And why do you want to reopen the home?
Because I want to go back there.
And why do you want to go back there?
Because it's my home.
Okay, so you want to find, so your goal is to find the bow so that you can go home, and that's more evocative belief. And it'll press you forward further than just saying find the bow.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, if I wanted to find it for another reason, though, I'd still want to find it.
Yeah. But having the reason on your character sheet while you look could help you weigh things. Perfect. Corbusier next.
My belief is anything worth doing is worth doing in style. And my instinct is to always assess the danger when presented with a threat. And my goal is to find clues as to the whereabouts of my fellow crewmates.
So in the zine, the grind, it suggests like to not have a goal that's not like related in any way to the current like adventure. So like you've had that goal I think 3 times, and you neither took action to find crewmates, nor would this area be a likely place to find them. So I think you need to like think of a new goal. So I think
because if that's what you wanted to do, why are you even here, right?
So,
like, what are you doing? Why aren't you out there looking for them?
So I think sorry, I was gonna say I think your reasoning might be good. It's like you want to rejoin your crewmates, and that's why you're here. And you said something earlier when you made your character about like impressing somebody. So like, what are you going to do to impress somebody in order so that you can rejoin your crewmates? Like, what is you going to do?
Well, if I'm looking for my crewmates and I'm looking for them alone, who am I going to impress?
No, with someone like what deed are you going to do so that you can go boast about it later? Because you said your character was like caught boasting lies. So, what truth are you wanting to do?
Wait, I boast lies?
No, you were boasting lies with L.
Oh yes, I was a boasting man.
So what are you going to do, like in relation to this adventure, that would help alleviate said situation?
Like to alleviate like the not knowing where my crew is?
I mean, you probably know where your crew is. They're probably like either on the sea. They're either on the sea because they are people, and your hometown is Alderport. So most likely, you just wait there for a few months and you'd be able to find them. Like
I thought I said we were shipwrecked though in the Shattership Bay. I kind of washed up on shore and I met these guys.
Did you? I
thought I did.
I never recalled that. So you were shipwrecked?
Yeah, we were shipwrecked, and my whole thing was I met these 2 guys after just waking up.
I don't think we talked about that.
Sorry, I thought I mentioned that. I know it was in my head for sure, but I thought I had mentioned that my whole thing was I'm looking for my crew, so I was just recently shipwrecked, and that's why I'm with Roman and Elfwin.
I thought your whole thing, because we talked about this before, was that you got caught boasting lies by your ex-lover, and that's why they're your enemy, because she didn't like you yet, and she got you kicked out of your crew. So you went on a quest for glory, and that's why your first belief for the first and second thing was like glory above honor, because you wanted to attain glory so that you can rejoin your crew.
I don't remember the glory to the crew part. I'm sorry, but I will probably just rework my goal then, just because you're right. I am not working properly towards that.
Yeah, so this is the whole conversation about reworking it. So,
I had a narrative in my head that I thought made sense, but I guess I just didn't clarify it properly, or maybe I just didn't mention it, I forgot. But yeah, it made sense in my head.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll fix up my goal to make sure that it makes sense going forward for the adventure.
It's not like it's just like a matter of like if you're not using the goal for anything, then you're not getting the benefit from having it, right?
Yeah. So like
if your character is, you want to be doing something that you're actually going to be using your goal in the course of the game, right? Like my goal is to find the bow in the ruins of Crowthorn. Right now, we're exploring the ruins of Crowthorn looking for the bow. Like that's what we're doing. You
Yeah.
know? So if your character, like, if you think of a way of like incorporating it when we're doing, then you should put that in the goals explicitly, so that when we do something, you can say, this is what my goal is. This is why I'm here.
Oh yeah. I feel like I'm cheating though if I make like short-term goals like survive the fall or like make sure I don't get tetanus.
Well, no, I mean it's not cheating. You can change it every session if you want.
I know, but that's my insecurity as a player. Is like I don't want to feel like I'm gaming the system for benefits like that. Like it's a weird form of min-maxing.
Well, the point is just like so that you're like you should
I was working
fit
towards
your character to the circumstances, right? Your character has a reason for being here. If you want your character to have a reason for being here, and you feel like they don't really have one right now, I mean, your choices are like change slightly what your character wants right now, or like retire the character. But nobody wants to do that, right? So you can just change it a little bit. It's not a big deal. Like if I do get the bow back, like I could just say, okay, well, my character is going to go home and not adventure anymore. Or if I want to keep adventuring, I could change what my character wants to do right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I did want to do a thing where I did want to try and find my shipmates, but I have not been working towards that. I've just been more reactive to a lot of the stuff that's just been going around. I've been focusing on that as a player.
Yeah, but which is fine. But like like if you can tie it into like your character's longer term goals, then if you think of a way to do that with your goal, then you can actually use it.
Yeah,
that's all right. Doesn't really matter.
These are great points. I do
gotta think about it. It's also like you want to be able to be playing your goal because then it makes it easier for you. Not only get points, but actually like it makes it easier to motivate your character to do specific things.
So, like,
good point.
A good tactic is, well, we can work it in reverse. You want to find your shipmates. Well, how are you going to do it? You're going to ask around in town, but asking around in town needs money. So what you're going to say is, I'm going to get some treasure so I can buy information about where my crew is. And now it's you get treasure and then go buy information. It's a two-step goal, right? And then
right, and likewise, like that way we can have completely different goals, but we can be doing the same things, right? Like, I can be going into this. I'm going in here looking for a specific treasure. You're just looking for treasure in general, and then I'm like, okay, well, we haven't found it yet. We need to go back down and restock. Then while we're there, you can ask around for information. That's fine, right?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, just to tie it in, because like your guys are like dirt poor. And so, like, doing anything in town needs money. So, like, if you want to do, you can either have a town instinct to always ask around for your crew when in town, and then try to go to town every session to try to get that role, or get some money so you can ask around and then have like a more adventure-y instinct.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. I just always like being kind of the scout, where I always like the assess danger kind of thing. I like that. That's fun.
Okay, so you're gonna assess danger.
Tying the instinct to the goal is a good idea to release as part of the arc for my character.
Well, that's for like when you go back to town. But so if we're starting the session going into a dungeon, yeah, having some sort of goal related or instinct that could help with that. But yeah, what is your goal going into a scary dungeon with this elf who wants to find the bow?
Find the loot and make it out safely. That'd be like my utilitarian goal for going into a dungeon.
Okay. And then
no sense in bragging to a dead man.
Yeah, and then just if you wanted to tie it into your kind of like other goal to have it like be more long term, it's like find loot so I could pay for information about my crew, and then boom, it covers both things and it checks both boxes essentially, and it's a little more long term because it's like 2-step like you wanted, or like a little bit long term, and then it gives you a good direction to go in. Also,
alrighty.
So yeah, cool.
Well, thank you guys for that insight. That was very helpful. I'll rethink my goal and possibly my instinct going forward. I think my goal for this session will be to make it out of this dungeon alive.
I mean, you could just exit.
Well, that's the general goal, really, but no. I'm going to reword it differently.
I think that's even too easy, because if your goal is to make it out of the dungeon alive, you could just leave. But like, make it out of the dungeon alive.
Like there's a ladder like right here, dude. We can just climb
I know. I personally wouldn't. I know what you mean. I wouldn't count that though. I'd be like, no, I'm the coward. I didn't even go in.
But like, why do you want to get it in the dungeon in the first place? Like, you got to tie these things together and then put them on your character sheet, essentially. Yeah.
I want to find something I can not really sell, but impress people with, like an artifact, and maybe they'll listen to me. Maybe that'll help me convince people to help me with my future goal.
Having
not to find loot, but to find impressive loot.
Okay, so it's to find some sort of impressive loot so that you can get a reputation or something. Essentially, you want to get your resources up so that you can start making tests to find people based on your reputation alone, without having to pay for it with treasure. You can pay for it with your resource stat.
Like a lot of people can find gold or silver or some worthful parchment, but it's like if you find it's the ancient claw of Klaatu. Ooh, how do you do that?
Okay, well, write that on your character sheet, and I think we'll be good to go. So zooming out a little bit. It is turn 2 of the grind. The lantern lasts for 1, 2, 3. I think 3 more. I think you just lit it. So last 3 turns. And at that turn, the grind will hit at the same time. So zooming in, back in. This safe room that you've discovered beneath the shrine has like really old and kind of not used in a while, kind of like bedding. Maybe the bedding is like moldy, and it has this like a wet kind of like that, like a bed frame with kind of like rope that's like been tied, so it's like kind of like what looked like maybe a hammock, and then like a straw mat would go over top of it, but the straw mat has since like disintegrated, and the rope's a little kind of iffy also. So it's like this I described it as a panic room of sorts for the whole adventure, but like the town, or at least maybe earlier on. And since then, it has been not used in some years and years. So there's a tunnel that leads out, and like a short ways away, maybe even like 20 feet, like at the edge of the light that you see down this tunnel. It branches into 3 other tunnels. One kind of leading north, one leading kind of like southwest, and one leading east.
All right. Well, the fact that Steve is not here makes it more difficult because he has the water jug. But well, man, I guess we have we don't have these rations for nothing, I guess.
Yeah, I still got a chunk of rations.
Yeah, and so we both have like water, and we can always just head back out if we need to the nearby stream and refill our water skins, but we'll worry about that later. Okay. Let's take pick a path at random. Let's go east.
So as you start going heading east, you can make out what kind of sounds like rushing water, and you can also hear like someone talking to themselves a little bit. saying, but they're speaking in English, but they're kind of like talking to themselves, and then they would be like, yeah, and they kind of like goes off a little mumble, a little bit echoey also.
Okay. So like we're just hearing it like in the passageway ahead of us?
Yeah.
All right. Well, just keep going.
We'll just keep walking forward towards the guy talking.
Well, if I don't know, maybe we're hearing it from through a wall or something, but we'll just keep going down the passageway.
All right. So as you continue along the passageway, you can see what looks like a big metal grate, with like logs and such, like leaned up against it to try to like block the grate, or maybe is like damming the grate. And the on the other side of this grate, and it has like a lock, and it's locked from the inside. From the other side, you can hear a more clearly person, and he's talking about how he needs to get the bones of his friends. It's like, I need to get my friends' bones, but I don't know where they are. I don't. He kind of like trails off. Yeah, I know. And he's like kind of like listening to someone. He's like, yeah, I know, but I can't do that. And he's like, And he kind of like sits back.
Like, can we see him?
No, like, but you can hear him like sit down, like the clunking of his stuff, and you hear like some clicking of like rock and steel is like you can hear the telltale signs of like a fire trying to be started.
All right, I whispered to Corbusier, "Can you get this lock open?"
I can try.
So are you going to
try and pick the lock?
Okay. So picking the lock will be an obstacle 1 criminal test.
Alrighty.
Very nice.
All right. Yeah. So you pick the lock, and the lock springs free. And as soon as you like pick the lock and you take the lock off the gate, like the logs want to press down on the gate and make it like swing open wide. Like it's like a hard.
Oh, okay, I see. So like the gate like opens towards us, but the logs were pressing down on it from the far side.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
If you look if you look at the hinges, they like want to like actually the gate could swing both ways.
Oh, okay. I thought that the logs were on our side, but they're on the other side. Okay, I see. Still, okay. Same difference, I guess.
Oh, we're through, so it's all good.
I'm just saying this might be more noisy than I expected it would be, but that's okay.
So are you just opening the door and letting the logs fall, or are you going to do something else?
No, I'm not going to like get in there and try and stop them, If they're falling, they're falling.
All right. So the door swings open with a crash of the logs. The man is now like visible and within your lantern light, and it's
what was that noise?
And he like looks over and he's like and he drops what he was carrying, and he was carrying, let me see, a large 2-handed fuck off axe, and a shield.
Yikes.
and a shield. He drops them. They clatter on the ground. He's dressed in I guess Corbusier would recognize him as the person described as the Gravedigger. The audience, if we were watching this as a TV show, would recognize him as a much older Corbin. And he drops the axe and drops everything else and tries to scramble to get a skull that's like pressed up against the in a little mound that he was talking to. He grabs the skull and he tries to pick up his notes, but he fumbles and they go all over the place. And he runs and he starts basically backing up, half tripping, looking at you, as he clearly is very frightened of you.
I hold up the parchment and say, "Halt, police!"
Yeah, his eyes go wide, and he's continually imagine if you're scooting on your back, but he has he's crutching the skull it's like a kitten, and he's scooting backwards, kicking out his feet, trying to put distance between you and him.
Relax, friend. I have no interest in whatever you're doing here.
What are you doing here?
So
you literally just contradicted what I just said.
Are you?
We're terrible cops.
Are you?
I'm the good cop.
Are you trying to persuade him to calm down?
Yeah, I want him to calm down.
All right. Let me just take a quick look, see if I have him.
I calmed him down with my incredible cartography skills.
I don't have him statted up. I think he would have. Yeah, I think he's gonna have 2 dice of Persuader.
All right.
This is gonna be a single roll, and if you calm him down, he'll stop and maybe
Sounds good.
Let you go by or whatever.
Alrighty.
So who's gonna make that test? Alfman, I guess, because Alfman was trying to.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. Are you gonna help?
I'll give you a hand, yeah. Because I do have points and I'm gonna help you by just holding up my credentials, reminding him that we are cops.
So yeah, you're gonna be rolling, I guess, against 1. I guess you wouldn't have known that, but yeah. Continue on like you don't know that. It's a tie. Are you gonna roll the 6?
I think since I have the fate, I'll spend 1 fate and try and win. Hopefully I win.
I believe in you. Believe in the die. The heart of the dice.
2.
Wow, that sucks.
So it's still a tie. Your choices are break the tie in my favor with the trait and gain 2 checks, or make a will versus will test to try it as a tiebreaker test.
I think I'm going to break the tie in your favor by using Firstborn against myself. So, obviously, elves are not trustworthy. They know too much, and they are never innocent. And this guy has learned not to trust them. They always have a reason for everything, and they always want to know what you're up to.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So he like kind of like continues like to back up. He eventually like stands once he's far away from you, and he says says to you, Ithiel, I didn't mean to. And before he like runs down and like out, because this tunnel kind of like leads out into kind of, it's more of like a culvert area. It kind of like leads out. I'm trying to describe this like on like a bank where this small stream has like cut open, but it's kind of like naturally like hidden a little bit. And
okay.
And so he
So
runs.
it's basically like we're walking out of a sewer, in other words.
Yeah. It's kind of like a sewer.
Except there's not water flowing underneath us. But
yeah.
And these to a sewer. This could be like a storm drain from the city or something like that, almost.
Yeah, that's basically kind of like
makes sense. Yeah,
kind of the thing. So he says before you depart, he said, Ithiel, I'm sorry, and then he runs. What you see around
who did he say sorry to?
He looked at you and said, Ithiel, I'm sorry, and then he ran.
Oh, okay.
Around you see like his not so meager camp. He definitely has. He's been piling wood against the grate for his like for use in like a fire. He has like a little fire pit kind of going, and the ceiling's like kind of charred black because he's used this multiple times. Here you see a large two-handed fuck off axe as what's his name? As Jack had described it from before. And you see the shield that was in the hands of Risotto as he fell on the ground.
Oh, cool.
Near here, you see a like packed in like a rusted out wheelbarrow with its wheel missing. Or no, I guess not rusted out, but like a wooden wheelbarrow with it's like its front wheel missing, and like some of the like maybe the handle is the screws have rusted out, so it doesn't longer has a handle. But like piled in there, you see a book, and the kind of statues of his of the wooden statues that were at the base of the first tree before. So there's a man with a shield. It's much the same statue that you saw on the desecrated shrine. If you look at his face and his pose, it's much the same statue. I guess Alfwin would recognize Ithiel Fedidir, the leader of the first, I guess, the Silver Seal Rangers.
Yes.
There's a wooden statue of him. There's a statue of a magician, and then there's another statue of someone kind of dressed in robes similar to the ones that Corbin was wearing. Kind of like much very similar to those robes. They're mostly intact, but they're more like busts now, having been cracked at the waist and their arms were missing. There's also a second book, but that book was with Corbin's, I guess, pile of notes that are now strewn about the ground. And if you look about, kind of like on the opposite wall, there's another skull.
Okay, so how many statues are there? There's the wizard, There's the leader of the Rangers, and
so there is. I guess you know if you've read the inscription of the desecrated shrine. It's the Bywin, the Defender of Men. She was. I think it was a she. Did I think I want her to be a she. So if I said he before, it's a she. So Bywin, the Defender of Men, is much dressed like a paladin or a knight would in kind of like a knight. There's Ilthiel, the Ranger. There's a magician, and there's kind of like more scholarly, priestly looking fellow.
Okay.
There's 2 books and a skull, and then a pile of notes.
Okay, can I have a look at the books/notes?
Okay.
I'm gonna play with the skull.
You're gonna play with the skull?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's something inside the skull. You can hear it like clinking around.
I break the skull.
Here to break the skull open.
Yeah.
Okay. Before you do that, it's gonna tell Elfwin what he finds. Okay, so you find a spell book. It's called the front on the front page or whatever. It says like the illustrious like magician Kotaz's spell book of immense power or whatever. But it's obviously just like written by him. And you find a journal. It's Ithiel Federo's journal, and then you have like Corbin's notes. So each of those things would be pack 1. As you crack open the skull, you find like a couple of gems in the skull. So they're just like you can write gems.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so you find like a few gems inside the skull. So if you want
to... I'm actually facing my backpack.
So are you going to look through the spellbook or the journal?
I'll look at the spellbook.
Hold on a second. Who's this guy? I can't remember how to spell his name. Or I feel like I made it up, but I can't find anywhere where I've written it down. Yeah.
That'd be the leader of the previous owner of the bow.
Yes. Okay. I just wanted to get his name so that I'd remember it. Okay. And he was talking to him, right? Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
I don't know.
Well, he looked at you when he said that.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I thought he was talking to the skull. Okay, that makes more sense.
He was talking to the skull, but like before.
But when he said that, he was talking to me. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'm gonna flip open Ithiel's journal. Actually, let's see if I can.
See if I'm prepared for that.
No, hold on. I'm just. Well, no, we're not like that far into the dungeon, and we can maybe head back to camp after this. Because I might want to pour over this. So
Maybe his journal's full of like furry art.
Okay. Maybe. The trouble is, yeah. Okay, I can. Do you have a free hand, Tyler?
I actually do not. Like, unless, you know what? Maybe if he comes back, maybe if I leave, like, I can take out the exhaustion pulses and, like, leave it here.
Okay, yeah. So Ithiel's journal is kind of like, you read at the beginning and you get that this is like a journal that's like in a series of adventures. Like he's been keeping track of his time in the form of like writing. And it sort of alludes, like the early pages kind of are like a prologue about how he, Bywin, Kotaz the magician, and Rathgar Vask kind of saved like the elves from like this giant spider that was overtaking the forest, and they've managed to drive it back. And in the process, they uncovered a great many treasure, and then it alludes to that Rathgar Vask was like both Bywin and Rathgar Vask were awarded land near the forest, and they lost their friend Kotaz, and then statues were going to be made in their honor. And then like that's kind of like the first couple of pages. This is kind of like, if you were to pick up this book, here's a primer of like why we're doing this, and then it goes in. It starts about like an adventure with like those, and it's set like that was like 100 or 200 years ago, and this is a new adventure, because the traitor Rathgar Vask has built a cathedral and taken a new name, and has like put a curse, a blight upon the forest. And so he mentions like some other like preparations about going on his quest. You'd have to like read through the book to learn a little bit more.
This seems really interesting. Okay, so hold on. So there's the notes, right? Which is the one you have this in the side here.
Pardon?
The handouts.
Oh yeah,
this
Corbin's notes. Yeah, they're
okay. Okay. I'm gonna stick these in the notes inside the journal.
Okay.
And then the other book was like a spell book, you said?
Yeah, it was Kotaz's traveling spell book. It has a couple of spells in it and stuff. You'd have to like. Yeah, I could, if you wanted to like look. If you're looking at like the titles of the spells. I swear I had those. Hold on a sec. Where are they? Oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, so it has the spells Wisdom of Sages. So Cobrizier would recognize this. That's the spell to like talk to other languages. There's the spell Lightness of Being and Dance of the Fireflies.
Oh, cool. Okay. So we could scribe these into our spell books if we go back to camp, eh?
Is that on the journal?
So the books are each pack one. Yeah, the notes could be put in the.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could just stuff them in the front pages of one of the books. Yeah.
And the gems will be pack one also. There's enough.
All right.
Yeah.
Tyler, you put the put the gems and the spell book in your sack, and I'll carry the other book.
All right. In which case, I'm gonna just leave the exhaustion poultice and
You don't have to
one of
do
my
that.
preserve. My small sack is full though.
What's it full of?
An exhaustion poultice and some credentials.
Oh, okay. Never mind. All right, I see.
That's what I was saying.
Okay, I see.
I'm just gonna leave an exhaustion poultice and a ration here, just so he doesn't think if he comes back, he'd be
Hold
like,
on. Let me just
nice.
see if there's anything I can leave here instead. Yeah. I don't really have anything crazy I could leave here.
In your quiver, it could store one small additional item.
Yeah, I'm keeping my dagger in there right now.
No, like it could. It's packed too.
Oh, okay.
But you can't like stuff something. It usually needs to be like long and skinny.
Okay, well I can probably like throw the gems in there, eh?
Yep.
All right, so I'll throw the gems in there. I'll carry the journal in my hand. And rather than leaving like rations or the credentials,
why does it say beach?
Actually,
chug?
maybe because that's what I need for my spell. It's my supplies for Mystic Porter.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. You made one or something. You found it. Okay.
Yeah. I can. Yeah. I think I'll just leave that actually because it's not worth anything to anybody other than me, and I can cast without it for now. So, or alternatively, I could cast Mystic Porter. But actually, maybe that's a better idea. Maybe I'll just cast.
I believe you cast it, but before resting, because you moved the bodies and then immediately went to inspect the house and then the shrine. So you didn't go back to camp and rest.
Oh, okay. All right. No problem then. I'll just leave the.
You could still cast it, but you would essentially rip the spell from your spell book, and you'd have to go talk to your mentor and inscribe it back in there after.
Yeah, no, definitely don't want to do that. That's a bit too drastic for this very minor thing. I'll just leave the beach truck here and carry the other book in my other hand, and we can head back to camp.
Okay.
Good idea.
Yeah, I'm just gonna write in. So under the character tab, there's party titles and then dropped on the ground, and so that's where I am going to put all the stuff that's dropped on the ground.
Yep.
Also, I'm going to put the campsite stuff that you list the campsite there also. I think I have the guild house apartment camp stuff there.
Yeah, I see that. That's good.
Oh yeah, I think like a beach truck was just like some wood, like a wooden.
Yeah, it's just like like a little piece of wood that's
why is it?
I looked it up, and like a trug is basically like a basket, like a tiny basket.
All right. So you guys are heading back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think because I want to maybe scribe these things into my spell book, or and also read through the journal more thoroughly.
All right.
I'd love to check out the spell book too.
As you make it to the safe room, the whole like the ground starts like shaking, like a mild tremor. Yeah, that's all.
Interesting.
I feel like I don't like this.
Is geologist a skill?
I don't know.
It's probably some magic junk. But we'll just leave that as being vaguely ominous for now, I think, and keep going.
Alright. Yeah, so you climb up the ladder without a problem. It's still raining quite hard. It's picked up since you entered the shrine.
Well, that sucks, but hopefully we can get a good fire going.
So are you making your way back in the rain?
Yeah, back to the camp.
Okay. Yeah, you make it back without too much fuss. Yeah, I think your camp is in one of the apartments, I believe. Like upstairs apartment.
Yeah.
I think that's where it was. Yeah, you note that the rain catcher is overflowing the bucket.
Oh, cool.
Because it's feeding a bunch of water gushing into a bucket from the well. And I guess a side note before we jump into possibly camp, but also I don't think you guys have checks. I'm not 100%. Or no,
yeah, I have 2 checks. That's why I said we should go back.
Right, you have 2 checks.
Way I can. Yeah.
Just to note, the gray is areas that you know about or have explored. The white are like areas that you like looked at but haven't like done anything about or even like been there really. So there's like the
and black is like
on the
we've
map.
like mapped it. Yeah.
So that's what the thing is. So there's like the locked first floor of the guild hall, and then in the basement of the opposite guild hall, there's the dark half of the basement that was like obscured, and then there's like the rats kind of nest in the midst of like broken crates. So camping is going to like how are you going about camping? Just like straight to camp?
I think so. Yeah. I don't think there's anything specific we want to do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna lay down.
Because, like I said, I want to have a look at this journal in greater detail, and the spells as well. See if I want to try inscribing one in my spell book.
All right. In that case, camping. You need 1 check. Might not be in immediate peril. Have a place to rest. All 3 things check. So now we make the camp event roll. So roll 2d6.
And I get +1, right?
No. Do you have the
No?
Wilder trait? No, you get a +1 if you use Survivalist to find a suitable campsite or make it more hospitable than it is.
Oh, okay. So this is when that's when I'm establishing a camp, not just for everyday camp events.
If you were to like be like, well, I don't know, let's go do something about this camp, make it safer or something like that.
Right. Okay.
You get an additional +1.
Okay. No problem.
But you rolled a 7. And 7 is... I think I'm running this as wilderness. So 7 safe camp.
Cool.
So now it says that you just like zoom out, camp strategy, talk about your conditions, how many checks you have, plan what you want to do, and then spend them.
Yeah, so I don't know. Would like in order to like read the journal in detail, would that be spending a check, or would that just be something I could just kind of do? I don't know.
I think I'll if you wanted. Oh, what is this? If you wanted to like read it like a quick read, I could tell you like what's in it. But if you want to like, we could. I don't know how you want to run it, because we could either run it that you could do like research checks. You can ask questions about the topics and like see if it's like in there like more.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, and then I could just kind of give you a general gist of like just this is kind of what's in it. So yeah, basically.
Yeah, maybe for now I'll just say like give me the general gist of what's in it. Like I'm reading through it, and then later if I want I can go back to it and like scour it for more detail. Then I can make checks to see, right?
Yeah, because I think you need to know what's in it first in order to even ask questions about it.
I just wanted to know like would that take like a check to do, or is it something I can just do in camp?
Okay, so you're just kind of like
because it would probably take a check out in the wilds, right? Because I'm potentially in danger, but in camp maybe it's just like something you can just do, like read a book. It's not like
so like I was gonna say leafing through it. You gain the following knowledge. It's about his quest when he like basically sealed the elf thing, and then gathered a group of I guess mostly non-elves to go and try to defeat the first trees thing. Of note, I guess there's a list of names. Of note, Corbin was one of the adventurers on that party, like 50 or some odd years ago, when he was in much more adventuring shape. And
wow, that guy's old.
And it does it
old man.
It has like they looked about it. They went in there. They lost someone on the way, and yeah, basically
the magician, right?
that was before. That was like that was
okay, so this is pre.
That was
I see.
That was like them fighting a spider and driving it out of like a cave or something.
So because my character like knows the heal pretty well, would I have heard about these people before?
It depends. Like he essentially like I guess you're reading into it. Maybe not, because like he's kind of did what you did, where it's like, well, I'm tasked with doing something. I'm gonna go collect a bunch of adventurers, and we're gonna do this thing.
Right. Okay, makes sense.
So like being elves, you obviously recognize his name because his name,
Well, yeah, obviously I recognize him. I know him quite well.
You've heard your mentor talk about him for some couple hundred years or something. Even though he's been dead for like the past 100 years. But yeah, like humans, they in terms of elves' lifespan, yeah, probably you wouldn't have never have heard of them. It's weird.
I'm just saying like because he's so well known, like maybe some of his like companions would have been mentioned, but no guarantees. That's why I asked.
No.
Right?
More local heroes, and it looks like they failed. Okay. Failed in their quest, and the last, I guess you skip to the last entry, and it's about them that they've seen like signs of spider, and even though they've driven off that spider from its home, they suspect that it made its home here, in the first tree or whatever, and then that's the last you've heard of it. I guess this is a callback because you found the elf remains in one of the sacks in the top floor. Right.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe that was him. Yikes. Okay, so this is like the first in the journal. So the first adventure was him with Bywin, Kotez, and Rasker Vask.
Yeah,
right?
it's kind of like
that's like the first thing, and then the last thing is the one he went on with Corbin, and that failed.
Yeah, presumably, because it's like we're gonna purge the first tree of its corruption.
Yeah, I was gonna say, given that they didn't, and it also says that the corruption exists because of Rasker Vask, right?
Yeah, it points to him.
A new name.
Yeah.
Does it say what his new name was, so that if I ask about him?
Saint Vicious.
Okay, so right, okay, that's what I thought, but I wanted to make sure. Wonder if he's still around.
Yeah, and I guess it describes like what like Corbin looked like, and obviously, yeah, he was like a young, adventuring kind of warrior man, like strong of heart and honorable in spirit. So, yeah, it's obvious that he's now a broken husk of a person, right. But you don't know Corbin, you know. You don't know that.
Right. Well, yeah, I was gonna say, but like we know that like Corbin is the gravedigger, right? Like it's like he said. Well, I don't know. I know that because he called me Ihil and said I'm sorry. So either he is Corbin or he believes he is.
I guess yeah. There's the writings of his writings.
Yeah, that too.
There's.
Well, what's scarier, Corbin or somebody who thinks he's Corbin?
Well, Corbin was never particularly stable, so it's disheartening to see that he has not managed to pull himself out of his condition.
Well, what if this guy lost his hand and cut off Corbin's hand and then tried to take his spirit through his hand?
That's true. You never know.
So in Corbin's writings, there's a bunch of like leaflets or whatever. There's like one page where it's obviously been torn out of like a journal. And the other stuff has just been like written on like other maybe like pieces of like Ithiel's journal that's been like torn out and like been written like wrote on. And yeah, it kind of it goes in a little bit more detail. You can just feel like reading it. I don't think there's too much other than just like plot stuff. But yeah, it kind of names their compatriots. So there's like Talus. And there's Alice, and then yeah, like his Ithiel, and then yeah, he like buried his friends. Now he believes he's responsible for burying everything.
Yeah, he also strangled a goblin, so that's cool. He also found a friend in the forest. His gems were with him. I melted down his candles to hold his eye. I put his eyes in. They are beautiful now, as always. That's awesome. That's good. That's good stuff. He also hears a weird thrumming or thumping sound in his eyes. So he's basically like in an Edgar Allan Poe novel. So we'll see how that goes for him. Okay. As for like actual checks, I think I want to try to inscribe one of these spells in my spell book, and maybe Tyler, we could like map the route from here to the town. So if we want to go to town, we can just fast travel there.
I'd love to do that. I do not have a check to use though.
Well, I have two, so that's what I was saying. Like one of them.
Oh, I would love to do that then. Yeah.
All right. So Sean, what were the spells in the spell book again?
So there's 3 spells, and then I guess there's also potentially, although, oh yeah, I think it might be just on the ground. I think there's a scroll that's like in the, a scroll that's like on the ground at the camp. I think, yeah.
Oh, so in the camp, right?
So there's the scroll of Thread of Friendship. It's a charming spell, and then the 3 spells that are in the spell book are Wisdom of Sages, which Corbusier already has. There is Lightness of Being. It's like a levitation spell for like a person or a group of people. And then there is what's the other one? Oh, Dance of the Fireflies. It's like making light and stuff like that.
Oh, cool. I think I have Mystic Porter already, which I think is too similar to Levitation. for me to really want that one. So maybe I'll try to inscribe the Fireflies, Dance of the Fireflies, I think you said it was?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let me try to do that.
So let me look at the spells.
Well, yeah, I guess so. It's just an Arcanist test?
It's going to be a Scholar test, describe it, and to learn.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Scholar test, to learn Dance of the Fireflies. It's going to be Scholar Obstacle 2.
Okay. Hold on just a second.
Yeah, so I'm just going to like read out the spell effects as you collect your dice and roll it. You can create like a couple of lights. I think they're as if they're equivalent to a candle each. You can create like increasing the odd. You can make like one light or a bunch, and they last for 2 turns for free. So you can make like one light for 2 turns for like op 1. But if you want like more turns, they're going to be hard, and they can get up to like a phase. If you want to like last them basically for the entire like adventuring phase, say.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. If you make it, the spell is on page 45 to like write it in if you want to like look at it more.
All right, let me make the roll first. It is Ob 2, you said?
Yeah, it's Scholar Obstacle 2.
Wow. I really failed.
Yeah, you failed. I'm just gonna say you ran out of ink, so
Okay.
you don't have ink anymore to make this spell.
Okay.
And I'm not
Do I
scared.
still get the spell or no?
No, it's the twist.
Oh,
You
okay,
run
so I
out
just
of,
don't have any. I'm like, I go to write it down. I'm like, what the?
or like you're halfway writing down. You're using like your magical ink to like write it into your thing, and you like run out. And you're like, crap.
All right,
So
well, I'll have to go back to town and get some more, I guess.
yeah, it's just free. They'll replenish when you get to town. But yeah, until you get to town, you can't. You'll be at -1 on Scholar tests to rate things.
That's okay. I can just get Corbusier to do it.
Yeah.
In the meantime. All right.
Yeah. So. Sorry about the noise. Like, someone's watching TV. Yeah. So.
No, it's fine. It's not that bad.
Yeah. So you run out of ink. That's one turn. Check OA. I guess Corbusier can now can use Elfin's second check to do a thing. I guess Elfin wanted you to write try a map, but you're free to do things.
Yeah, it's just a suggestion. But I think mapping.
No, cartography is a good idea. No, I think having fast travel maps are pretty important, so I'll do that.
All right. So you're mapping the path to
to Tent City.
Okay. So it's gonna be a cartographer roll.
Alrighty.
And the obstacle. So let me factor the obstacle real quick. I think it's going to be. Sorry, someone's watching House.
That's fine.
I'm gonna say obstacle 2 to map the path to Tent City.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna say that you stay up all night and map this map. You are exhausted. You do in fact get this map.
So we do successfully have a map to Tent City. I'm just in a terrible condition.
Cool. Make sure to mark your successful test.
It'd be a fail test. Mark your fail
Oh,
test.
okay. You're right. I'm sorry. Oh, that sucks because it's a waste. Oh, well. Oh, wait, no, because you got to get to 3, so never mind. It's not a fail. Wait. If your rating is at 2, you need 2 passes and a fail to turn it to 3. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay, so if you get additional fails, what do you do with them?
Note them, I guess. I don't know. You don't need to note them.
Yeah, I was going to say, because they just don't do anything. Oh, well.
All right, cool. Yeah, you mapped the kind of like I guess half day to like 3/4 day trek to Tent City. That brings you by like a rock and an empty arch. Yeah.
All right, what does exhausted do again? Let me check here.
I'll also throw in the nearby stream for free because it's kind of in the vicinity of that walk. This is a stream by.
Okay, good.
Or I think maybe you already had it, but yeah. Also, I'm gonna give the cathedral for free because it's like at the base of Tent City, at least just to get to it.
All right, cool.
So we exit camp and back to the adventure phase. The grind resets, and you can re-memorize any spells you currently know.
Okay, I will rememorize Mystic Porter. I don't know if you want to switch what spell you have memorized, Tyler, or not.
I'm gonna keep No, hold up. I'm gonna memorize Wisdom of the Sages this time.
All right.
Okay.
So yeah, just note that it's in your memory.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you awake to kind of like crappy weather. It's not as like stormy, but it's kind of like a constant drizzle now.
Seems like a great day to spend indoors. And by indoors, I mean underground.
Letting the days go by, going venturing under.
Yeah, so what do you guys want to do?
Well, Tyler, I think I want to go back and explore underneath the shrine some more, because this looks promising. We've found some good info there, and I'm ready to keep going. But, there's nothing else.
That place is a curiosity ripe for inquisition. Let's go.
You said that there was... Sorry, Sean, when we read this just outside the safe room, you said there were 3 tunnels going off, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
this tunnels, there's 2 other ones.
Okay, so let's go back there maybe and explore another tunnel. What do you say?
Sounds good.
All right, let's do that.
Yeah, so on the way down the ladder, the ground rumbles again. So you guys are gonna make some health tests to avoid falling down the ladder.
Crap. Maybe we should come in from the stream exit in the future. Keep our feet on the ground.
Yeah.
All right. Health tests. Here we go.
So it's gonna be obstacle 1. It's this trembling. It's difficult, but not impossible, and it doesn't last that long. All right, yeah, you both managed to hold on and get your feet on the ground in the safe room. Quickly, I guess to note, it was like everywhere. It's not just like in the tunnels. It's like like outside the tunnels.
Yeah. Does this count as a pass on for advancement?
Yeah, it'll count as a pass. It's a roll.
Yeah. Okay, I thought so.
You both can mark pass health test.
I just realized that. Okay, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so you're in the safe room, and you make it to the 20 feet to the tunnels where it splits off. To the north, it goes kind of like sweeps around a little bit to like the northwest, and then it kind of like disappears. And into the south, I'm imagining you also relit your lantern. Is that correct?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we definitely do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have 2 turns left. So
I think I finished the flask of oil. We've lit it now.
Yeah, no, but like last.
It depends on how. It's a number of turns on the grind. It's not how many.
Okay.
Like
things you did.
Like the time is approximated as turns on the grind, basically, because that makes it easier to deal with.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and because it's a lantern, unlike a torch, when you go camping, the stuff that's inside it stays. It doesn't like immediately disappear.
Alrighty.
Okay. Let's go. What the heck? Flip a coin. Go south.
All right. The tunnel south kind of stays kind of roughly, I guess, at basement level. It doesn't go deeper than just under the surface. But it kind of like goes west a little, and takes you here. I'll like highlight it. So it takes you to the guild house. Or it should be just singular. But yeah, you are. Yeah, it leads to a kind of another it's like a double set grate. One lock here, a better lock there, but it leads to the basement of this guild hall.
Oh, cool.
And it looks like there was an attempt to start, I guess, just like mortaring in this tunnel. So it's maybe like a foot of stone wall that from the inside of that basement, but has like since long abandoned. So yeah, there's like two. There's two. So yeah, there's like 2 gates. Both are locked. Then like an unfinished stone tunnel, and in the basement, I guess you can make out barely. like I guess like maybe like I'm trying to give numbers to this. Maybe like a 5-foot vault wall, into like it's attached to like the wall on the other side of this like opening.
Okay, so we're in the basement of the guild hall.
Yeah.
There's a vault door, and are there stairs up to the main floor?
You can't see that, so I was gonna draw it for right now, so it'd be very explicit.
Yeah, that'll make it easier. Thanks.
Ooh.
How do I do this? Oop. So there's a gate, another gate. There's a stone wall that's unfinished, and it kind of leads into a basement. So let me rotate this. Like that, and like so here. So what you could see, there's the measuring tool. Yeah. So you see on the opposite wall, there's like a from.
Wow, that's a big basement.
From this gate, you see, that's not this big, but yeah, like maybe like.
Wow, it takes all morning to cross this basement.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So on the opposite side of the gates or whatever, there is a like vault on this side. So.
Okay, cool. It's like a vault door or something like that.
Yeah, it's not too
Like
big. It's definitely not like huge. But
like
yeah.
the size of like a locker in a high school or something.
Yeah, it's like 5 feet tall. It's maybe like 3 feet wide. It's not like that big. But
okay, so like it's like 3 lockers.
Yeah, I guess.
Big enough. Still pretty decently sized locker.
But yeah, it's against the
Okay.
wall, and it's not like it's definitely not like a vault by itself. It's definitely attached to the wall.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. Interesting. So we're at these gates right now. You said there's 2 gates, and then what's this light gray thing you scribbled here?
So that is a kind of stone wall, like it was been tried.
Okay, so as if this was being bricked up, but they stopped.
Yeah, they're just like, this is too much work.
Right. Okay. So are these gates like locked? Is this gate locked? The one that we're closest to?
Yeah, they're locked. And you can see that like there's a smaller tunnel coming from this side.
Interesting.
This one is like the other ones were kind of like well made. This one is kind of just like it's like they started a tunnel, but they haven't quite finished anything. So it's very like rough, and it's like what is it, like those mining like barricades at the top made of wood, kind of evenly spaced out every like 5 feet or so. It's like you can see it here, you can start seeing it here. If you were to look down this tunnel.
Cool. Oh, you know what? I should have told us to leave the spellbook at the camp. I forgot to do that. And
oh no!
and the gems are still in my quiver. Oh well, that's fine. We can do it another time. Do you want to try opening this, Tyler?
Sure, I'll give it a shot. I'm assuming it'd be a criminal test.
I guess that's up to Sean.
Sorry about that. What did you say?
I think Tyler wants to take a crack at opening this grate.
I'm gonna open it.
Okay. That's going to be a obstacle 1 criminal test to unlock this simple lock. The lock on the other door looks a little bit beefier. So it'll be up 1. Yeah, so you unlock the door or the gate, and it swings freely, making a kind of like screechy kind of noise, as if this gate hasn't been opened in quite a long time. Yeah, this tunnel and like I said, the other tunnels were like kind of well made. They've been like masoned together, sort of. At least the floor is kind of masoned. Maybe the walls are like supported with a combination of like some brickwork and woodwork. But this tunnel here is just a made of like earth, has an earth packed floor, and yeah, it's like wooden, kind of mining. It's more of like someone like dug this tunnel.
Well, I don't know. Let's before we explore that, maybe try and get into this basement here. That vault looks interesting.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Besides, pass, we get into the basement. Fail, you get a fail check for your criminal, which you need anyway. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is a win-win. Plus, then we get to explore the spooky tunnel instead of the safe basement. Sounds like
yeah, but my pride's the.
Yeah. So, are you opening?
I'm gonna open it. Yeah.
Opening this gate.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, it's gonna be obstacle 2 to unlock this. I just wanted to note and point out that it was, I guess, Steed as Roman, who used his heist-wise to note that if you're trying to protect treasures and things, often they do things twice. So 2 traps, 2 locks, 2 things as like backup. So, yay! Reincorporation. So yeah, it's going to be obstacle 2 to unlock the second door. Its lock is a little newer, and it's actually like probably locked twice also. So like it's going to be obstacle 2 to unlock both of them. But it's probably like locked from the inside and the outside.
And Oni's a trait for this.
Yeah.
Oni is extravagant.
How?
No matter what I do, as a penultimate move of unlocking it, I'm going to turn around and kick the gate in a stylish.
So if no matter, I'm having a hard time seeing that as either.
I want to do like a cool guy kick that makes it look like I unlocked it effortlessly.
Oh, is this going to be used against yourself?
I'm going to add an extra die to my thing just because my criminal's not that high.
But how's this making you a better criminal?
I look cool while I do criminal stuff.
But how does looking cool make you a better criminal?
How does looking cool make me a better criminal?
Yeah.
people can say I do cool guy stuff while doing criminal stuff. That kind of ups my reputation. Because it's one thing to like bust a lock open. It's another thing to bust a lock open and make it seem like it was no hassle at all. It's the rumors, man. It's the rumor mill.
Yeah, I know. But and maybe it's like me being a little more stringent on like the requirements, but like that seems like it's actually making it harder for you because you want to make it seem like it's easy. So it's like you're putting no effort in to making it harder, like narratively wise.
Oh,
which is fine. It's perfectly fine to use this to farm checks. I don't care. That's a perfectly good use. Besides, like I said, it's a perfect time to use something against yourself because like we have another thing we could be doing anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
That's true. Yeah.
And besides, you might, even if you use it against yourself and get a check, you might still succeed because your criminal is 3 and it's an ob 2. You might just succeed anyway. You never know.
Yeah.
Oh, but you're exhausted, actually, now that I think about it, eh?
Yeah, oh yeah, so that's, it should have been a factor. You probably should have failed the first test then, because being exhausted is a factor in all tests.
I'm exhausted, I have
Sorry,
no
does that mean you roll 1 less die, or you get 1 less success?
The obstacle's +1.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually ob 3.
Okay. Well, that's fine. You could still, well, it's up to you then, Tyler, what you want to do about this.
That's why I want to use it, just because I'm probably going to fail this no matter.
Right.
Okay, so you use it against yourself. You're trying to look cool, and you're not really paying enough attention.
Yeah.
You're not trying. You're not taking care because what trait are you using?
Extravagance.
Right, exactly. So you're showing off, and you're not really doing a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like.
So yeah.
That's why I was like having a hard time being like, well, how does showing off make you better?
Yeah, but like you made a good point, Tyler. Like if you were like if you were like in front of like a bunch of other thieves, then maybe showing off would be better because it would improve your standing among them. They'd be like, "Wow, this guy really knows his stuff," right?
Yeah.
Well, I guess that would be.
I'm also seeking your approval.
But the intent of this role is to unlock the die or block it.
True, not to like impress them. That's
not to impress.
I wanna impress you, but also when you're a cool guy, notice me.
All right, fair enough. But like, but that's like that's like a character thing, right? Like
I'm just gonna use it against
whether
myself
or not.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you get a check, and you roll. I guess what?
2 dice.
2 dice.
Yeah, you're gonna hope
not 3. You never know.
You're gonna hope for 2 6s.
Yeah, it could happen. Like that's why you always got to make the rolls, right? If you get a check and succeed, then that's like gravy.
There's also so you use a trait, so letting you know the other things you could do. Additionally,
so just the ob goes up, right?
Yeah. So because you're exhausted, just the ob goes up. You still roll the same number of dice.
Gotcha.
You still roll 3, but it's ob 3.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well,
you gained a.
Oh no, he.
Sorry, no, you only rolled 2.
You're only supposed to roll 2.
My bad, I forgot.
So, because
I was only supposed to roll 2. Ah, shit.
You gain the check, but like they're all 4, so even if we remove one at random, you're still gonna gain that check, that sweet, sweet, tasty check.
So I heard 2 conflicting things. I heard roll 2 die, and then also.
Yeah, no, that was my fault. I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah.
I made a mistake.
Yeah,
no problem.
I'm surprised I got 3 4.
Yeah, exactly. So it doesn't matter. It's just a fail, but that's fine.
However, so it's a failed criminal test. But I'm still gonna make. You're trying to impress him, and it was just the lock looked the same. It looked as easy, but it just took forever to unlock, and you became angry. So you're angry, but it finally clicked. The lock.
So now I have do I have the condition of angry now?
Yeah, the condition of angry, but the lock did open.
I can't use wises. Oh no.
Yeah, so this lock is open now. I think. Do you guys?
I'm just gonna.
You guys want to like continue a little bit and then end it, or do you want to end now? As a perfect.
I'm good to continue if you are, Chris.
I don't know, Sean. What do you think? Like, if you think it's a good spot, then we can stop. But I'm good to keep going for a little longer.
Okay, yeah, maybe we could do like a little bit longer then.
All right, yeah, sure. Let's explore this basement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me.
Party basement.
I'm just like trying to order some food. So give me like a minute.
Okay, you want to take 5?
Not even that long. I'm just clicking some things on.
Okay, I'm just gonna use the bathroom quick anyway, so it's fine. Okay.
And I will be here listening.
Okay, yeah, I just ordered some plates in order for sushi.
Nice.
Yeah.
What kind of sushi did you get? Did you get spider roll?
No, I got is it spicy tuna, avocado roll, and California roll.
Nice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So sorry about the, I guess, being a little harsh. I just want the description to match the action, I guess. So like.
No, that's fair. Maybe, yeah. No,
You
weren't being harsh at all. Maybe I was. It could be also that I was probably doing a bad job at explaining like what I meant by it. It's also on.
No, maybe because like I think previously I probably would have let that slide. I just like I want to be more cognizant of that, especially during the help actions. So like if you're helping,
Okay.
it needs to really be, you really need to be using the skill that you're helping with in a way that actually helps, like them achieve their goal or their intent for that role. But yeah,
Sounds good. Yeah, you weren't harsh. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. Also, I kind of want you guys to be there, so even if on a fail, I'm just gonna give you a condition that you sorted out. You have a check now, so you could get rid of one of the conditions. And I guess you also have the exhaustion poultice. So
I do have the exhaustion poultice. I could just use that.
Yeah, or maybe it's on the floor somewhere. But yeah.
No, it's still in my bag. Chris carried all the other stuff. I ended up not carrying anything.
Okay, cool.
I have a dumb question. What is a poultice? I always hear it. I never have visualized what a poultice is.
So a poultice, I believe, is just like I'm imagining like a thick cream that you would rub on something. So, like, example might be like,
oh, it's like a balm,
like a vapor rub, but you like would put it on like a cloth, or you'd put it on like a bandage. Is what?
So it's like tiger balm.
Like in my mind, that's what that is. But I actually don't know. But like I'm letting you guys kind of describe what exactly it is, and so the exhaustion poultice, at least the way Chris described it, is kind of like it kind of hardened, but if you like kind of like crumple it up and like rub it on your like on your face or on your neck or something. It was like smelling salts to try to keep you awake, to help alleviate your tiredness.
That's good. Yeah, it is like a balm then.
Yeah, I think it's like kind of like a balm or like a cream, a salve, or maybe I'm thinking of a salve. What is a poultice?
No, salves, like as far as I know, like they're corrosive. At least the I know is like black salve, which is what like salves. Like whenever I hear them, it's in the context of people putting them on to like get rid of like sun damaged skin because they think it causes cancer, but it ends up like just deteriorating like part of the body.
Okay, so a salve is an ointment, and a poultice is a soft, moist material, typically made of plant or flower, and is applied to the body to relieve soreness, inflammation, and is kept in place with a cloth. So it's kind of like a thicker. It's like thicker than a cream. It's almost like a mash of some substance, and you like tie it in place with a cloth.
Yeah. When I hear salve, like I just double check, like black salve is like it causes like necrosis, and it's like the homeopathic like cancer treatment. It's not good. Don't do it. Dear viewer, if you are listening, do not buy black salve. It is not good for you.
All right. Yeah. So we're back. We were just talking about what is a poultice, even, because
fair enough.
we're just talking. Yeah. Yeah, you unlocked it. Before you stands a low wall, and the basement of the guild hall, in which on the upper floor is your camp. So you are below that.
Yeah.
All
right, now that we're actually in the room, can we see anything other than the vault?
Yeah, so there's a vault. There is a locked door on this wall. And what's set up at the door, like attached to the door, is it kind of looks like a spear trap that if you were unwary from the other side, like a spear would come, like you open the door, a spear would like come from like the ceiling and like swing at like chest height. Yeah, so there's like a door on that side. What's in here is kind of just like various like storage spaces, like shelves and stuff. There's you see like dust marks on the shelf where stuff used to be but have been like removed. Yeah, I think that's about it. Let me just quickly check my notes to see if I have anything else that's supposed to be here. There's other things that are here. You see a broken bottle of wine, and in this corner you see a bunch of wine racks. Like there's like rows and rows of wine, empty wine racks, all covered in dust. And in one side here, it looks like to be like a rolled up carpet.
Okay. So if I got this right, there's a rolled up carpet in one of the corners. There's some wine racks. There's the vault on the wall. There's a bunch of empty shelves that look like, like they've had, like there's pretty much nothing on them. And then there's a door with a trap that is designed to swing when someone opens the door.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
All right. Can I try to disassemble the trap?
Yeah. So I was going to describe the trap. It's basically there's like a small pulley, and there's it's weighted. There's like a weight that's attached to the door frame with a pulley that and then there's this pin in the spear trap, mechanisms, like a wooden holder. There's like a pin that's holding the spear in place. that if you were to open the door, it would like pull the pin out, and the spear would just would swing on like a little wooden mechanism. So
Right.
how would you disarm it?
Removing the spear would be my ideal way if I can reach the spear.
Yeah, I'd say you could reach the spear. I think removing the spear is going to be a Dungeoneer test. And
Okay.
I think it's going to be Dungeoneer 1. It's not too
Okay. I don't
hard.
think
Just got to be careful.
I have Dungeoneer, but I can make a beginner's luck test.
It's going to be health test. By 2. You look at the...
Sorry, what?
Just saying,
oh yeah, no, I'm just using the beginner's test. Beginner's luck.
Yeah. I'm just saying it for people who are listening. Is that Dungeoneering has a base of health, and so you'd roll.
And it was ob 1, you said?
Half your dice. Yeah, it's gonna be ob 1. Ooh, you make it. Cool. Yeah, so you get the spear. It has like a hole on the end where like that pin would go through at the base, and it's like was attached into like some like wooden mechanism that you managed to like undo.
Cool. All right, can I open the door?
Yeah, it opens to a door. At the door, there's like a short hall, and then like steps that lead up into like an overhead kind of swinging door, like what are those things? I guess like a horizontal door, like a door that would be on the floor. I'm like blanking at the name. Like a cellar door. There we go. Like a
trap door.
Yeah.
But not like the kind that breaks open beneath you, but the kind you lift up.
Yeah. It's just like a normal cellar door. It's probably, if you're like coming in from the other side, you'd see it. It's kind of huge and wooden, but it's not like to the outside. It'd be the inside. But yeah, and the stairs are not steep. They're kind of like the opposite of not steep. They're kind of like shallow stairs, so it's easy to climb in and out with like stuff in your hands. And the door that you went like open is like extra wide, so that you can like move things in and out of the storeroom with ease.
Makes sense. So at the top of the stairs, where is it?
So you're going to open the top of the stairs?
Oh yeah, I'll open the door at the top of the stairs. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like is Corbusier following?
Hell yeah.
Okay, just making sure that the lighting situation. Yeah, like you open the door. It kind of opens into a shared common hall between a lot of the workrooms on the first floor of the guild hall. And each of the various workrooms are mostly empty, but some of the gear like some of the work implements are too big, and so like there's probably like a loom that wouldn't have been moved. There's probably I guess I was gonna say there's evidence that this guild hall is kind of a more fancier version, like dealing with a lot more fine crafts kind of thing, and the other guild hall is
what was left of it anyway.
Or what was left of it, and all the stuff there was like left there. Like this was like taken apart and also not untouched from the fire. That was like ruined, and like people were probably like inside, and their apartments were like burnt out, and that was kind of like more of like the run of the mill people, so like stone workers and carpenters and such. This would be like, like the jeweler, the shoemaker, probably
I guess the Weaver, because there was a loom.
Yeah, like the Weaver, and maybe like something like that. And so but like most of you like go through the things. Most of like the small stuff have been like just like taken apart and like left. There's essentially just the very large piece of equipment. So and like the door that leads outside from the shared hallway to the back of the guild hall is locked, and literally kind of like doors that would like swing open to like at the shop, like basically become shop fronts to convert like the workspace toward the marketplace. That converted, those are also locked.
Well, it would be convenient if we could get one of these open, just so we can come back here easily.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you want to? I guess you're angry and exhausted, huh?
I want to apply this exhaustion poultice to myself.
Yeah, I guess we gotta wait to go back to camp.
I'm like a real bitch to be around right now. I'm just kind of bitchy. Cat.
Well, I don't know. You can probably just try and open one of these doors that looks easiest, unless you want to just break one down.
Yeah, I can break it down.
All right. I don't know what that would be.
Breaking a door down, probably. I will say labor, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say labor to break a door down. Seems like work. Who's gonna do it?
I'll do it. I'm trying to, unless you have laborer already.
I have sailor that's like labor.
Okay, I'll do it because I want to build up laborer. So.
Can I help with lore master to be like, I recognize this door from this style of architecture?
Maybe.
Let me give you sick lore about this door you may not know.
I actually kind of feel like that is more along the lines of like a wise. How you would help with a wise if you had an appropriate one.
You can't use wises.
Yeah.
So. You can help though if you have. I don't know what skills are relevant for laborer.
I think the one skill that's like relevant for labor is laborer. It's like
that makes sense.
Conversely, like it's the help all skill, but like it is very like the narrow focus on what skills can help it. But if you have health, you can help with health because you don't have it yet. Everyone can help.
Oh, yeah, I can help with that.
Because technically I'm not using labor. Technically I'm using health. That's right. Good point. Okay, so you can put a shoulder to the door with me.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So it's obstacle is going to be, say obstacle 1 to like. Really, what's holding you back is probably the screws that like hold the lock in place.
Makes sense.
It's like a wooden. Which door are you opening? Like,
sorry, I just meant like the normal door.
Okay, yeah. So it's probably like the screws that's like holding the bolt or whatever. It's like that's holding the latch of the lock. Is probably like where it fails, and the door swings open.
Cool.
Yeah, you're now in amongst your camp area. Or at least where the pigman was camping. That's where you are, probably.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, technically, our stuff's all upstairs, but with the fire pits down here, and it doesn't really matter.
We made a loop.
Interesting, though, that there was like a secret. Like a secret passageway down there. Sorry. How do you? When do you open a skill? How many checks does it take?
Your current nature. Oh, no, wait. No. Your maximum nature. Like your
Got it.
total.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
All right.
So if you have passes, you add the number of passes and fails together, so you only need to track like one number.
Yeah, it's just the total number of checks.
Of attempts. Once you have the total number of attempts, pass or fail,
it opens it too. Yeah.
It opens it.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna drop off these books here while we're here.
All right. I think you have access so that you can edit.
Yeah, I will do that.
Yeah. So if you're dropping stuff off, you can put them into the list of things that are dropped on the ground at the camp. Yeah. So yeah, you made a loop. There's the basement. I actually think now would be maybe a good time to end.
Yeah, I agree.
It takes a little time to do the wrap up, and
we found the final dungeon, campsite.
You made progress. I think significant progress. So
sorry, can I just before we wrap up, can you remind me of the 3 spells that are in the spell book so I write them so I have them written down?
The spells are Wisdom of the Sages, Dance of the Fireflies, and the levitation one, which I forget the name of.
Lightness of Being.
Lightness of Being. Yeah. So they're circle 1 spells. So essentially level 1 spells. They call them circles. And I feel like that's probably like what people call them. Like, oh, this is his first circle spell. You only know first circle. You're a first circle wizard if you only know first circle spell. Blah blah blah. Like that. Yeah. So I guess Corbusier, Beliefs Instant Skulls, did you hit them?
My goal to find impressive loot in the panic room. I found some gemstones. That was my goal.
Ooh.
I don't know how impressive they were.
I think gems could be impressive.
I can like make up a cool story about them.
I mean, don't they have a cool story already?
Yeah, they're gems, dude. That's cool as hell.
I know.
But
they're my eyes.
But a crazy old man thought they were the eyes of his dead friend. Come on now. Jeez. That's a cool story.
Are these those literal gems? Wow.
Yeah, come on, guys.
Yeah.
Cool story.
Gems of a madman. I believe anything worth doing is worth doing in style. I tried.
That's all you need for beliefs. Cool. That's all you need for beliefs.
Yeah, you took actions that were for style, even though it was harmful to you. That's the essence of a belief. Your belief was so important that you did it, even though it wasn't the best move.
Yeah,
which was great.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. It's perfect.
And what's your instinct?
To always assess the danger when presented with a threat.
Okay, yeah.
I did not. When we initially saw the Corbin lookalike, I did not assess the threat. I flashed a fake credential and probably scared him away because he thought I was a cop.
You did say that you were one. to be fair.
Yeah, but he could have just doubted.
Okay, so it is a persona for, I think, achieving your goal of finding treasure. That's cool. I guess, do you think they're impressive or not? Either. So if Corbusier thinks gems are impressive, then you could take persona. If Corbusier thinks gems are just like kind of meh treasure, then take a fate and
I think they're impressive.
Okay. So take a persona and erase that goal because you'll have to have a new goal. Something else.
Alrighty.
Perhaps he's spending the impressive treasure. I don't know. And your belief. You took an action toward doing your belief. So that is a fate for that.
Oh, alright.
Elfwin. Belief instant skulls. Did you hit them?
Alright, my belief is the forest is in ruins and it's everyone's responsibility. My goal is to find the bow, and my instinct is when in a dungeon, be on the lookout for traps. Okay, so belief, not particularly. I was just kind of exploring today. My goal, I am taking steps towards finding the bow, pretty explicitly. I'm literally, like I said at the beginning of the session, literally digging around in the ruins of Crowthorn right now. So we'll see. And I never triggered my instinct. So I guess it wasn't that full of traps. I did see a trap, but I didn't need to give an instinct for it because it was like very obvious from where I was.
Yeah.
I guess if we had gone in the other way, it would have been useful, but oh well, no big deal.
Yeah, and also I guess had you gone in the other way and opened the door, the trap would have triggered. So you need to.
But then I could have said I was on the lookout for these, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and then got yourself a roll. Additionally, you could just be like, "Is there traps here?" And I could say no.
That's true.
Move on.
Like I said, I can be more proactive, but I think it's more fun to not and just be like, when I walk into a trap, be like, aha, I was on the lookout for this. But it's fine.
Yeah.
So I guess just the fate probably.
Just the fate for working toward your goal. So now we do team awards, which is MVP, team worker, and RP. I guess we'll start with MVP. The person who made the big rolls, did the cool big thing in the session that pushed the story forward. I kind of want to say that Corbusier unlocking the tunnel. You unlocked like 2 out of 3, and then even the other one I just handed to you anyway. I think that's pretty important to the pushing the story forward. So I think I'm going to nominate Corbusier for MVP.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm down with that.
I dig it.
So that's one persona. So team worker is the person that did helping a lot, had the right skill, right time, sort of deal. There wasn't actually that many roles today, though we've interacted with a bunch of things.
I think Elfwin was a great leader, though.
Not like in terms of roles, really.
Well, no, but like in terms of like direction, where to go, making choices, pushing deals, making bills, earning bread.
Yeah, I actually don't think Elfwin could get team worker because he
didn't make enough.
Did not help on criminal tests, which was the bulk of the test this session.
To be fair, I can't really help on those. Yeah,
and also he didn't have labor. So he had the right skill, right time. Like, oh yeah, labor could be made the argument. You're learning.
I don't have labor yet, though. I'm working on it. It's too useful to not have, to be honest.
Yeah, you're learning it. So I think we'll just move into RP award for roleplay. So this is the person who brought their kind of beliefs, instincts, goals, traits, or conditions to the forefront and made them and kind of injected them into the narrative. So
I think Tyler gets this one as well. Like I said, using your belief that way was really good to use checks against yourself. And then I also liked how you were like, you used your conditions as a reason to not want to lockpick again. At the very end there, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm so sick of it. Like you were still kind of cheesed about how you were trying to make it easy and it wasn't. So yeah.
I'm angry, I'm exhausted, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I hate
exactly.
it.
And you're like, just whatever, just break the door down. I don't care.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'll agree with that. I think that's excellent RP from Corbusier, aka Tyler, the real person behind Corbusier. So yeah.
The man behind the map.
So that's another persona. Tyler.
Oh, thank you.
So that brings us to the conclusion of session 4 of Cursed Lands Torchbearer. Thanks for playing.
We need a name.
Oh,
Woo!
right, naming the.
We always forget the name right at the end.
Yeah.
It's such a minor thing. I notice it happens a lot.
I'm playing the game, and that's the added thing that I had an idea. Like, let's name every session. So like I'm busy trying to be like, we have to do all the procedures. Going through this list of procedures. I should write it down at the bottom of the list of procedures to name this session.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Yeah, so names. Let's brainstorm some names.
We should probably talk about the Gravedigger somehow, right?
Somehow tunneling. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rolling in the deep.
I feel like also this session I decided to like, I guess the very nature of like having Corbin have his camp here was like I'm gonna set the stage to like bring back everything, connect everything that we've ever seen.
This is fan service.
Yeah. Okay.
Callbacks to last season.
Something the Gravedigger. Vroom vroom vroom. Skull.
You won't bereave what we found. No, you won't bereave who we found.
I don't know.
You get it?
What?
You get it?
Get what? Bereave.
You won't bereave who we found. Corbin's a gravedigger. Guess who it was? Oh my gosh.
Oh. Are you saying believe or something else?
I'm saying bereave like a bereavement, like when someone dies. It's a play on him being the grave.
Ah. Yeah, I like it.
All right.
I like it. I just couldn't really hear you. Okay, so you won't bereave who we found. Perfect name. Thanks, guys. Thanks for playing. I'm gonna stop the stream.
Woo!